Kreeper!
What's up, you crazy creeps? It's Clearski and I'm back. How the heck are you guys? So today I'm in one of my favorite parts of Portland. I'm coming to you guys from northwest Portland. And just right down the block here, a couple of streets over, is a big shopping district. But right here behind me sits the original studio for Mr. Will Vinton. That's right, the Will Vinton Studios right here at 1400 Northwest 22nd. And for many years created the likeness of the California Raisins, the Noid, the PJs, the M&Ms, just to name a few. And today we're going to tie this place into a really cool thing here in Portland, and that's the animation. This city has a tremendous amount of studios and animated things, from The Simpsons to the California Raisins. So we're going to tie it all in together. I'm going to show you guys what the studio looked like back in the 90s. And then we're going to creep up the block here to a little secret spot that's working on a really cool movie produced and directed by one of my favorite directors, Guillermodeltoro. So stay tuned, this is going to be a good one. Well, kind of hard to see with the glare. I'll probably insert a better picture. But here is the front of the Vinton Studios circa the 90s. You can see there's still some of the things there, like the windows up top are the same. So the facade of the building has changed, but what was produced out of that, this location right here, will forever be remembered as just greatness in my book. Love Will Vinton. If you guys haven't checked out a couple other videos I've done in the past, make sure you go check those out after you watch this. But we're going to creep up the way here and I'll tell you why this studio has ties to the surprise I'm going to show you, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the connection as well. They're doing a bunch of construction right here over this fence, but check this mural out behind me, guys. Just on a side note, another sweet mural here in Portland. They're everywhere, it's pretty cool. But stay tuned, because we're just going right up the block here. See you in a minute. So I'm back, and I creeped around the block here, and I am at the secret location. That's right, top secret. There's actually some guys right here that I just talked with. And it's similar to what I was saying about the Will Vinton Studios, but this is actually the home to Shadow Machine animations, or films, if you will. If you guys are familiar with Robot Chicken, Moral Oral, a lot. That's just a couple that they've done. I love Robot Chicken myself, but not to mention, this is going to be, well, it is the production studio for the 2021 release, directed by Guillermodeltoro. I think I totally massacred his name, but that's right. He is the main director behind the 2021 production of Pinocchio right here. And from what I've read, it's similar to the original story, but it's kind of more of a dark Del Toro style, if you will, which I love all his work, especially the opening that he did for my favorite show, The Simpsons. But right inside this building is the production for the movie. Now, there isn't a official release date, but there is a year release date for 2021. So like I said, in between all the movies that he's done, Pan's Labyrinth in 2006 to a bunch of other films, Del Toro has found time to creep right here, that's right, into Northwest Portland and give some of his expertise. I love the fact that he was a makeups special effects creator before he got involved in directing movies. But like I said, right here is the inside to, or the outside to, where that's all being produced. So like I said, Portland has a huge tie to animation starting back in the late 80s, early 90s, like I said, with Will Vinton Studios being the home to the California Raisins, the Domino's Noid, and a ton more animations that we've grown to love. But I believe if it wasn't for Will Vinton basically paving the path for the stop motion animation, the likenesses of Coraline and Leica and all those other production studios that work on their animations probably would have never came to be. So I credit Will Vinton tremendously for paving the path to animation studios like this one right here. And I've got some little shots that I was able to obtain online of some of the animators working hard. I've also found a couple, I dug deep, but I found a couple of previews of what Pinocchio looked like. Just for good measure, I pulled up a picture of the original Pinocchio, and we will compare him to what their version, a little darker, a little more detailed version. So he's a little tough to see. Same with their version of Geppetto, but I think you guys can kind of get the gist. Apologize for the glare, but there is their version. A little more 3D as well. It's also the style of animation that they are using, but the Geppetto as well. And another little exciting tidbit, I was told top secretly that the voice actor for Geppetto may in fact be played by none other than Tom Waits. And I also wanted to tie in the reason why I stopped by Will Vinton Studios as well. Not only was he one of the first creators for the stop motion animation, but a gentleman that actually is working hand to hand with Del Toro on this, got his start actually sweeping the floors and basically being an all-you-can-do type of guy here back in the 90s at the Will Vinton Studios. And that gentleman's Mark Gustafsson, who worked on the fantastic Mr. Fox. He also has written the script with Patrick Mahale, who did Over the Garden Wall and Adventure Time. So 3 really great collaborators, and I know Mark has had a tremendous amount of time in the studio, so I'm excited to see what the 3 come up with. And not to mention, one of my favorite parts about this whole thing is that Jimhenson Studios, that's right, Jimhenson, the studios, is on board with the production of the puppets as well. So how freaking cool is that? And Shadow Machine was established in 1999 by Alexander Bulkley and Corey Campodossino. Shadow Machine is an Emmy award-winning studio home to cutting-edge animations. You can also visit www.shadowmachine.com for more info and updates for not only Pinocchio but other projects that they have coming in the future. But that's going to do it from Portland, Oregon. Really appreciate you guys joining me as always, and I just think it's so cool that Will Vinton Studios here started and paved the path for a tremendous amount of animation studios. But right here behind me, a little hidden gem, and I'm excited to see what Del Toro comes up with. I'm excited to see the full movie, and like I said, it is going to be available on Netflix, so you guys definitely going to want to stay tuned. And I will throw updates as we get them into the description, maybe even the comment section. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up now. You can ring that bell. That way when I creep, you creepers will be the first to creep. But that's going to do it. Creeper out for now. Peace, you guys. Here's a little bit more of what the front of the animation studio looks like here. I don't want to pry too much because I want to respect their privacy and whatnot, but I will peek the camera in here just for a second. If you guys can see, they've got their offices and whatnot up here, but like I said, I want to be respectful, and I'm kind of already giving away some secret info here, but pretty cool. I bet the productions and everything are probably right upstairs here. It looks like there's a lot of space, so how cool is that right here in Portland, Oregon? What would be even cooler is if Del Toro pulled right up here and let me in.